All right, let's dive in. You've probably seen this term AI agents popping up literally everywhere, in the news, on social media, all over the startup world. There's a ton of buzz, and you know what? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise and explain exactly what they are, how they work, and why they might just be the next massive thing in technology.
I mean, that's a pretty bold statement, right? But it's exactly this kind of thinking that's driving a huge wave of innovation. So why all the hype? What's really going on here that has everyone so excited? Let's break it down.
All right, to really get what agents are all about, we've got to start at level 1, large language models, or as you probably know them, LLMs. This is the technology you're already familiar with. Think about tools like ChatGPT, Claude, or Google Gemini. They are the absolute foundation for everything else we're about to talk about. So at its core, an LLM is basically this incredibly powerful text generator. You give it an input, a prompt, and the LLM produces an output based on the insane amount of data it was trained on. It's a really straightforward, one-to-one kind of exchange.
But right there, that simple exchange shows us two really key limitations. First, LLMs are passive. They just sit there and wait for you to tell them what to do. And second, they have limited knowledge. They don't know anything personal about you, like what's on your private calendar or your company's internal data. Now keep those two things in mind. They're going to be important.
Okay, so let's level up. Level 2. This is where we go from just simple prompts to entire processes using something called AI workflows. This is where we start connecting that foundational LLM to other tools to get more complicated jobs done.
Here's a super simple example of how that works. A person gives the LLM a very specific set of instructions, like, hey, when I ask about an event, I need you to go search my Google Calendar first and then give me the answer. The LLM follows that exact, predefined path to get you the right info.
And this is the crucial point right here. In an AI workflow, a human is always the decision maker. We design the path, we write the script. The AI is incredibly helpful for sure, but it can't just go off script. If we haven't told it to check the weather, for example, it just can't. Okay, now for the big leap. Level 3, the AI agent. This is where the whole dynamic just completely flips on its head. This is the moment the AI stops just following our instructions and starts making decisions for itself. And believe me, the change is massive. With a workflow, a human is in charge. With an agent, the LLM itself becomes the decision maker. A workflow follows a fixed, pre-written script, an agent reasons and creates its own path. And here's the most important part. If a workflow hits a wall, a human has to step in and fix it. But an agent? It can self-correct and try a different approach, all on its own.
So, how does it pull this off? Well, the logic behind it is actually surprisingly simple. It's called the React framework. First, the agent reasons. It thinks about the goal you gave it and creates a plan, a series of steps to get there. Then, it acts. It uses the tools it has, like a web browser or your email, to actually execute that plan. And that is what makes these agents so powerful. Let's say you tell an agent to order you a pizza. Its first step is to check Pizza Hut, but whoops, Pizza Hut is closed. An agent doesn't just stop and give up. It reasons, it iterates on its plan, and decides, okay, I'll check another pizza place. It adapts all by itself, just like a real human assistant would. But wait, it gets even cooler than that. We can go beyond just a single agent and create what are called multi-agent systems, where a whole team of AIs collaborate on even more complex tasks. So, in its simplest form, you have what's called a one-to-one workflow. Just think of it like an assembly line, okay? Agent A writes a story, and its final output, that finished script, becomes the direct input for Agent B, which then turns it into an audio version. It's a clean, sequential handoff from one to the next. But then we can also create a one-to-many system, which is way more like a project team. You have a boss agent that takes a huge goal like build a new website, breaks it down into a plan, and then assigns all those little individual tasks to specialized agents who can work on them at the same time. One for the database, one for the design, you get the idea.
Okay, so why does any of this matter for business? What's the bottom line here? Well, it's because this technology is fundamentally changing the entire relationship between team size and impact. It's making it possible for incredibly lean teams to achieve just massive results.
I mean, just look at these numbers. They're kind of staggering. Midjourney is pulling in $200 million a year with a team of about 10 people. Cursor, $100 million with around 20. These are not 1,000-person corporations. They are small, hyper-focused teams using automation and agentic systems to operate at a scale that was just unimaginable before.
And you know, at Voiceonic, this is the future we're building towards. We started with the AI receptionist automating one single crucial task. But now, with AI agents on the horizon, the question gets so much bigger. What if your business could automate not just answering the phone, but entire operational processes, from the very beginning to the very end?
This explainer was brought to you by Voiceonic. To get your own AI receptionist today and to start your journey into the future of business automation, just visit voiceonic.com.